There's an air conditioner on next to me, but well, I thought I'd take a moment. I went ahead and started breaking it down because I thought it was the clutch. It was not the clutch. Well, the clutch may still be affected, but when the engine fell off of that mount, I have those washers in there now. They're not going to do anything but just make sure that the whole surface is pressing down at once. When the engine fell off the motor mount, the shaft, I don't know if you can see here, but the shaft hit this right here. It's kind of dark in here, but it hit this support for the suspension. And when it did that, it broke the retainer clip inside of the drive shaft, or CV shaft, whichever you want to call it. And when it did that, I'd already started breaking it down so that I could do a clutch change. And I said, hold on, wait a minute, let me spin the tire. And when I spun the tire, the inner shaft didn't spin. Spun the outside here. When I spun this outside, the inner shaft didn't spin. And I said, well, there's got to be a disconnect between the shaft somewhere. And I raised the car, did the other side, and the shaft spun all the way. So I had some parts from the car that I'm working on, the car that my poor little baby over here that I'm converting to a 5-speed. I got the trans, it's under this bucket, and the drive shafts that went along with it. And this is the bad drive shaft. Now this retainer clip right here should be on the back side with the bearings in the shaft. Should be on the back side of the hub connector. You put the bolts in this way, and the hub connector sits against the cup on the differential for the transmission. What happened was that retainer clip had broken, the bearings came loose, and then the shaft is just allowed to spin free at that point. There's no little washer or grabber on the shaft here. So I saw the shaft was just spinning free, and a lot of people think that the actual metal breaks. You have to do a lot of damage to break that metal, but I don't put it past people, or I don't put it past the remanufacturers when you get that really weak steel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the shaft on that I have, and hopefully it'll shift right. I may have to adjust the shift a little bit because of all the major jostling that was done as the motor fell down onto the drive shaft. So that's it. She's all prepped. I'm gonna get those bolts in there, and hopefully, I got my fingers crossed. I gotta have my daughter back on the road in her car tomorrow. Like I said, I sold my Audi, my dependable Audi, and now it's just me in my driveway here because my daughter's in my car. So hopefully I get her back on the road, and we see how everything goes. All right, any questions, comments, concerns, or even suggestions? Hey, I'll take suggestions. Thanks a lot, guys. TDI Love from Chicago, and be safe. All right, I guess a quick update. It's in. Everything's pulling right. I wound up using a new drive shaft because, as fate would have it, the used drive shaft had a similar problem where the bearing set was pulled out. So, oh well. New drive shaft, new bolt. I always put 2 bolts on there to lock the shaft. I've had that shaft come off of me once, and that's no fun. It tears up all the inside of the hub assembly. It's really bad news. So I always double bolt that. It's no big deal. And this is the shaft I use. You guys can let me know if it's good or bad. This is the packing grease I use. A lot of people don't know you're supposed to pack them. I always try to use synthetic grease wherever I can. It's a better alternative to the graphites or the moly lubricants. Especially in this kind of environment where in Chicago we can go from 110 degrees to minus 20. All right, we're right in the middle of, I guess, the climate change. It's always been bad in Chicago, but today is a good day. I didn't have to pull the trans out. We're gonna see how good the clutch holds, and hopefully the differential didn't take too bad of a whack, but we'll see. I got some grease all over there I'm gonna have to take care of. Any suggestions, comments, concerns, let me know. Thanks a lot for watching. TDLL from Chicago.